All right, hey, we're live. I don't know if we're all streaming out to all the platforms. Yeah, we got some people on YouTube. The 3 people. So yeah, we're live. It's Saturday night. It's the over close to Christmas time. So satellite news. Hey, I'll start off with satellite news this week. I'll share my screen. Go here. Oh, it's gonna flicker on me. I bet. Whatever. So yeah, just looking at what's going on in satellite news. So a bunch of channels like in free preview mode over at 125 West. There's CPAC, which I did a video on earlier. But then after doing that, I guess it came to my knowledge that the other channels like CNBC and Bravo and USA Network West were also in the clear for how long? Who knows? I think that I've seen channels like that in the clear over the holidays. Do we have a flicker in the upper corner? Sometimes the screen capture does funky things. You can also go to TV or OSAT and have fun with the graphics at the beginning. Oh yeah, it went away. You can smash all the lights. There it is. It's not letting me do it right now. I spent like, I don't know, way too much time like just breaking lights here, and it's not even showing up on the thing. So we're joined by Kurt, Patrick, Kevin, Eggplant, and yeah, we're doing just gonna have a chat about satellite and other stuff tonight. Oh yeah, we have a chat room here too. We got Brandon on. Now you guys can call in. I think I can share the link here. Oh, that's this video. So you guys can call in through the restream. So if you're watching this on another platform, if you go to the YouTube link over at my YouTube channel, there'll be a link to join us in the restream chat in the description of the video. So you can join us and have a chat there. I'll make it 4 boxed in there. And there. So yeah, it's cool to see that. Some new channels come to a C-band, though. I mean, I guess there's a few on 91 West, but every time I aim my dish at 91 West, they go, there's a few KU-band channels. They go away as soon as I point my dish there. So I figured I won't point my dish there, or maybe they won't go away. Yeah. So, yeah, we got Brandon in the chat room. How's it going? Brandon was showing his fish tank in the Discord server, so I just created a just an extra feature in the Discord server. There, you could just post like funny memes or funny videos or just random stuff that's maybe off satellite topic. But I thought, hey, we could have fun with that. Oh, he says Brandon usually has a fixed KU band dish at 91 West KU band, and he's getting a few channels. He says so. I'm not sure if it was 91 West or if it was it was 80. No, oh gosh, I forget the 70 something West. Used to have the KU band wrestling feeds, but that was years ago. Yeah, and that's the sort of the thing about when you're playing around a free satellite TV, is the channels come and go. There'll be one satellite, you'll have 1 or 2 channels, and then there'll be another satellite that'll have 10 channels. So it varies on wherever you aim the dish compared to cable, but that's kind of the fun of the hobby. I would compare it to shortwave radio. Oh yeah, before I went live, Kurt asked me about this cooler here. So I have it up on my desk. You might see it behind me here. So I just have that's a projector right on it, and so I'm just playing around with the projector because I found I had it down here, and it looked awful because it was kind of panning up to the wall a little bit, and it looked awful. This is just a cheap projector. This is the equivalent to what those projectors you can find, those RCA projectors that you can buy at Walmart or at Giant Tiger if you're in Ontario, or Tiger Giant if you're in Quebec.
Tigre géant. The other way around.
I just call it Giant. I anglicize it when I see it. Yeah, they're not very. Like this is a Vianco projector. It's probably only going to be like a low end $100 something, $100 something projector. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars for a projector. I just want something fun to play with. I consider that a kid's toy, really, and the kids have fun with it. My son likes taking it, putting it on the ceiling, and it's a small projector. It's like, well, I can pull it out here and show you.
The idea of this project did exist back in the 90s. Sony did one back then.
Yeah, this is just a small projector. I have a video review of this on my channel, and it's has an HDMI input. I mean, for what it is, it's cheap. Like it's not 1080p. It says that was one of the things that said that it was 1080p, and it's more like a 720p. I don't care. My kids don't care. Like it's more, as I say, it's more of a toy. It has a little SD card reader, so I have all my home videos like on this little tiny SD card here. I'll pop it out here. So like all our home videos are on this 32 gigabyte card. And
how much did you pay for it?
It was a sponsored video.
Okay.
From Vianco, but I don't see anything from Vianco on Amazon anymore. I don't know why that is. Maybe there's stuff up on Amazon now for the Vianco stuff. But anyway, it does have a lot of these projectors. They'll have like almost like a tripod mount. Like I could probably mount this to my tripod, but what the idea is, you hang it upside down with a lot of projectors, and you can project on the ceiling. So what I want to do is kind of hang it from. I was looking on a device on Amazon for that.
You can also use a tripod.
Yeah, because I have kids and they'll grab at it. I kind of want it up on the ceiling, but it makes it a big project. Like here, I'll show you kind of what I'm looking at on Amazon here. I'll pop my screen. Oh, it was on.
I'm planning to replace my television and get a projector. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, they're not as bright as a TV screen. It has to be dark for them to really work. So they're kind of fun at night. I mean, the screen here, it's probably like a 10 feet of the wall is the screen, so it makes it quite a big screen. Just looking at one of these, the only problem is I'd have to cut holes in the wall to run wires and stuff like that, and it seems like it'd be much more of a project than what it would seem like for me, because like I love how they show in the picture here. It's just nicely installed. They have hang ceiling, and they didn't have to cut wires or anything like that. But in reality, I'd have to run the HDMI cable to it. Now, some of the newer projectors are probably even better. They have like Wi-Fi. You can remotely send signal to it via Wi-Fi or via internet. Like this thing does have Wi-Fi in it, but I find that stuff is it didn't work very well when I used it. So I was thinking just running an HDMI output from this computer, just so I can stream like Disney Plus or YouTube videos to it. I mean, you can watch YouTube. It has a YouTube app built into these cheap projectors, but they're not the best YouTube app. You can't really log in with your YouTube account, at least with the one I have, and then just have like bought videos or have like a paid YouTube account on it. It doesn't work that way. But still, I mean, if you're looking for a projector, look around. They're really reasonably priced. They're actually cheaper than a TV. Like, some of them are cheaper than a TV screen. Another thing you could do, and I've done it with this. I have my green screen in the background. So if you're looking for a screen for a projector and you want to do a makeshift projection screen, you could buy like one of these green screen holders and get a good quality screen. Get a bunch of those clips to make sure so the screen looks flat, and you can put one of those up, and then that's like a 10, maybe 11 foot screen that I have in the background. My kids, it's a fun thing to play with. I put on a green screen in the background, and they just kind of have fun with that.
Have fun like the new ABBA video clip where for the Christmas song, it's all, you should check this out. All the kids are playing with with some facsimiles of the technology they're gonna use for the avatars. So they made a video clip of it for the song that's called Little Things. Little Things. So we have all kids playing with that kind of stuff in the video. So everyone
Yeah.
found that super nice.
I run like the background of like the car driving or whatever, and they pretend to drive like in the old 1950s movies or whatever. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. It's one of those fun things you can do in OBS where, but then it's like it takes a long time to change a scene in OBS. It's like,
Yeah, it seems that everyone have problem with that. If you change your setup for another reason, you're
yeah, oh yeah. Like if I was using OBS for streaming, which I don't use OBS anymore, but if I use it for screen recording a lot of the time. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys another thing. I don't know if we talked too much about KiwiSat last week, but apparently KiwiSat. Now I can't find a whole lot of information on their website. I don't know if someone was able to find out what satellite they're on. I think they're on the old Orbee TV satellite because there's a whole whack of channels that looks like their lineup.
So is it their replacement or what?
No, they've been around for a while. They were servicing the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
And I think they're offering service in the southern United States. Here's their channel list. I'll go over that, and let's see what they have. Florida channel list. So they're offering satellite service in Florida, but just Florida and I guess the Caribbean. But they have like ABC. They have all your kind of networks that are available. It's probably not going to work for any of us because we're further up north. But they're offering satellite service, and KiwiSat is the company that bought the rights to Orbee TV. So I was wondering what they're up to, and I think that's what they were the company that bought Orbee TV. If I'm wrong, but
There's some significance in that for sure.
yeah, and so they have all the your cable channels that have commercials. I mean, you pay the subscription fee and they still have commercials, right? It's like, this website, I'm not a big fan of how it's laid out here, but I'm just going through what they have. They have CW, a lot of stuff that you can get with an antenna. The interesting thing of Orbee TV is that they offered your locals, so the installer would come to your house and install an antenna, so you'd also get all your local channels through the same box. But I'm just looking on their website. I don't see exactly where there's English and Spanish. $30 a month seems like a pretty good plan, though. Like if you just want like a basic satellite.
Compared to like cable and a big company satellite.
Well, that's 40 channels. Okay, that's your basic thing. Shaw Direct will do that too. So I think the full, like they're offering. Were they offering the movie channels?
It's similar to the pricing of Shaw Direct, from what I get.
Yeah. Where are they located? They're located in Florida. So they're actually in Florida. Okay. It's available in Florida. Do you do local channels? Yes, we most including ABC, CBS, and CW. Anyway, they're like I think they're pay as you go as well. So they're not like I don't know how anyone here in the States how it would be compared to the other. They offer. Oh yeah, they also offer Epics and Stars as an extra premium if you get their premium stuff. I think. Hulu and Live, but then you have to have internet. I would assume, right?
Yeah.
DVR functions and all that. So it'll be interesting to see what KiwiSat. I mean, if I were a satellite company, I would come up with a better name than KiwiSat. But
it seems they don't put much effort in the name.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what's going on?
Let's
there?
find another cute name like everyone else and don't spend too much time.
Yeah. And then the Orbee TV site, if you go to Orbee.tv, that's what their website's still up. Like they still have this logo, but they don't really have any information on it.
Oh,
Yeah. So I don't
Didn't
know. They've
they?
gone bankrupt. They went bankrupt. Like they were around
Yeah.
for 2 years, not even 2 years, and then they just shut down. I covered it. I was probably one of the people that covered it the most. My little YouTube channel. No big newspapers covered it or anything like that.
yeah, you got some popularity from that.
Yeah, that helped me. I mean,
It
because well,
helped.
they did run commercials on TV. I remember watching over the air TV and then seeing like commercials for Orbee TV, and then they just went away. Yeah, so and they were saying that it's we have no contracts and
Oh, I will tell you. I think it's like Zoom. Do you remember Zoom? They went the Zoom way, from what I understand.
okay. Zoom was the
Mm,
HD satellite service. Was that?
Yeah, the HD
Yeah.
satellite service that was
Oh,
using shot direct receivers somehow.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
end up with a refurbished shot direct DSR 505, and it was in fact a old refurbished Zoom receiver.
Zoom
So
Earth
they
was it
went
what it's
bust the
called? Or?
same way. They went on the concept that was providing only HD channel back in those days.
Yeah, yeah, back in the early 2000s when it was like you had to be an early adopter to have HD.
So they went to HD as a concept, and RB went to the low definition, low bandwidth concept. Either way, both didn't work.
Yeah, yeah, they're not around anymore. I mean, companies can try things, right? But I think streaming, if you get like a Starlink satellite receiver, I think that's probably where things are going to probably, and then streaming is just going to work, right? But um, it's good to have the backup. That's my because computer networks, internet networks can go down too, right? So it's always good to have a backup. And free air is a good way of having a backup, in my opinion. Uh, I mean, if I have the power out, I have uh, portable receivers. Even the little the TBS viewer card, I can run that off my laptop. And then my laptop, I won't be able to connect to internet, but at least I can still connect to and then use your car as a generator to generate your cell phones and batteries and stuff like that. If you have a gas car, if you have an electric car, well, I guess we're gonna.
And to move your C-band dish, you're gonna do like I did the first time. You remove the motor, and you put the drill inside.
Yeah. Or what you can do with my 4-foot dish is it has an actuator that stopped working after it didn't last very long, and you can disconnect the screws and just move the actuator and then tighten the screws again where the actuator bracket holder is, and then
Yeah.
just move it to where you need it to be. So I did that when I needed to adjust it. I don't know if I should buy another actuator, but I'm very disappointed that the actuator only lasted me a very short period of time, like a couple of years
That's
or
so.
whatever. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and that was a small actuator, like the small
Oh,
little 4-foot dish actuator that I was using.
the old wise. I think I have six of them in my stash.
Oh yeah,
The old Wiser. I don't remember the name. The yellow logo. I have six of them in my stash, and they keep the cold. They're cold. They're not
oh
they,
yeah.
whatever
Maybe
they cool.
maybe I should buy one off you. If you have a
Yeah,
small one,
it works, but you're gonna have to end up air because it will be less costly than sending that.
yeah.
It's so heavy.
Oh really? Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I want something heavy on the back of the dish because that's a small. The actuator for the 4-foot dish is a small actuator. It's like
Oh,
probably that like unextended. I don't know. It's not that big, and it could still reach the full arc. I think. Well, I actually never got it tuned up to get the more eastern satellites. I only really locked it to the main ones that I was interested in getting, and then I didn't. there wasn't all the stuff that was on like 30 or is it 28 West or 33 West. I have tuned it in with my 36-inch dish. There's basically a lot of the channels that are on Galaxy 19 um, that are just repeated over the Atlantic region for satellite. Someone was asking a question here. I thought it was a good question. Maybe we can talk on that. Speaking of radios, can anyone explain FMCB? I just heard about it, seen an ad for a mini Cobra. Thanks.
I don't know much about that.
I don't know much about that. I don't know where you can get them. Imagine truck stops are the place where you can get CB radios now. Like if you go into any truck stop, you'll see CB radios. They go along the 401 or whatever. I just usually go in there and I'll see some CB radios set up there where you can buy them. But also you can order them online. If you follow Eric at Fairpoint Farms channel, he's probably the main guy you talk like on YouTube that really talks about CB radios. So he'd probably be more the guy to talk to about that. I'm pretty sure Eric has done a video on that. He has done a video on a base station GMRS radio, like one of these things, I guess, for base stations. I think it'd be cool to have one of these GMRS radios like in a car, like a mobile unit of these. They're always, for the longest time, all I ever saw these is in the walkie-talkie formats, and I've had this one for about 15 years now. The battery still works, same battery.
What happened to the radio part of the back in 2000? People were using their cellular phone as walkie-talkies.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
TELUS was the big one promoting
for that. Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
It went nowhere. I think it went nowhere.
Yeah, they were popular for a while. The two-way radios, because if you're on the TELUS network where they had the radios, you could talk for free across Canada using the TELUS system. So I used to have one for work, but my work provided it with me, and it was like the phone was a brick. Like you could hammer in a nail with that phone that they had. The TELUS, I forget what it was, but the TELUS.
I think it was a DeWalt branded phone. Is it possible?
Yeah, it was like.
I think I saw one time. But about the FMCB, I have some fact and opinion on this still. If you think about it, the using the frequency modulation on CB will be a good idea for one thing. It's the quality of the audio, obviously, but you won't go that far with frequency modulation. So I think the point of that is for two talkers on the same road to talk to each other and have a conversation that is not painful, but you can reach really far with a CB radio. You don't have a power, and you don't have enough power, enough watt on a CB radio. And if you're even so on frequency modulation, that don't go really far compared to AM or sideband. So the only purpose of FM modulation on CB will be to talk if you're kind of near, but not in the same car. Let's put it that way. Otherwise, I don't see the point of it.
The phones from like the 2000s, they did have one. I forget the brand of it, but it was like my boss who used to work for Cleaners dropped it right in front of me when he gave it to me, just to show me that it is a phone that you can drop on the ground, and it's a robust phone, right? A tough phone.
I remember having my first cell phone being a Motorola with the walkie-talkie feature on it, and I guess I never activated, but I do remember like my mother saying that if you ever get like in trouble, like in danger, call 911, because that's the only thing you can call.
Yeah,
with
911.
Don't call your mother. Call 911.
Yeah. I have a question about an ortho mode C-band. Though you can get more signal with than normal C-band. I did try one, and I didn't on my 8-footer. I didn't find it worked a whole lot better. Actually, I found the one I had anyway. The frequencies were off just like by a little bit, and
Yeah, but you're
so
gonna tell us what's another mode, an ortho mode.
well, I'll show you like when I reviewed one here. I guess I'll pull up the video where I looked at.
For the lamers there.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of like a an LMB, like a commercial grade LMB, and it probably should work better.
A PLL and NB? No.
It's kind of like the old school where you had a feed horn that fit in, like that drove into it.
Oh, okay, they don't have the down converter on that. Is that right? Or they need the big RG 11 or something, the big cable and the.
I don't even think you need all that. I mean, it's just it's supposed to be just like a slightly better. Here, I'll bring up the video there. There's a video where I was talking about it. That's what I had up on the dish.
Okay.
I mean, the problem I found with it is it.
What's an? Is it? Are you showing it?
Yeah, I got a video of it up for my channel here, where I'm showing the LMB.
This is the Chinese CRAP I use.
Yeah, that's how I used to use that. That's a CKU band LMB, but I have so many KU band dishes, I just don't really bother with that. And then I have the titanium C1 that I find works for my 8-foot the best. Now this LMB might work better for you if you're running a 10-footer or a 12-footer, like a really big dish, and you're trying to pull in the 95% of the signals you're gonna probably pick up with a regular like with a titanium C1 LMB, and like on an 8-footer. But you might maybe even more than 95%. But there'll be a few channels that will be hard to lock onto.
But again, I didn't get what's so particular about the ortho part of it.
I don't know. It's supposed to be better. My experience, it really wasn't much better than what I got with the titanium. It was actually a harder setup because with there's two jacks for it, so you have to run a switch. I wonder if I show that here coming up.
Oh, I see. It's just the fact that the vertical frequency and the horizontal frequency are not on the same LNB for sure.
Yeah, they're on separate LNBs, so they worked on the feed horn. I still have it. I thought I'd play around with it again, but with the amount of time I had,
my dish is set up that way.
Yeah.
Right now my C-band dish is set up that way with two LNBs.
Oh yeah, and I had like a switch. You had to hook up a switch that looked like that, a splitter, to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I run two cable. My switch is inside because the winters there tend to break those little fragile little things. When I see this video and I watch your plug, it makes me cringe.
Robbie, I searched for it, and the first thing that came up was your YouTube video about it.
Oh yeah, that's not much. Yeah, and I'm probably not the most.
You're kinking your cable there.
Am I? Oh yeah. Now is that my old dish? No, that's the mesh dish.
You changed your cable since then?
No, I'm still using those cables. Yeah.
Good plugs make good impedance and good signal. I know.
I think I got better. Actually, I have better plugs now. I got the cripper tool to do cable instead of the screw-ons. So I probably should try it again. I just didn't have that on me at the time of doing the video, so I'd say, well, I'll just try it like this. Did the video on it, and I'll have to try it again just to see if. The only thing is, I was afraid that during the summertime that a bee's nest would come out and attack me or something. They also have
Kurt is not much of a talker.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't. I'm just researching this ortho mode LNB.
Oh, great idea. We're gonna have some gray matter for us here.
It's like anything like that, and someone was talking about another guy talking about projectors and saying, they'll say anything like the projectors that someone in my upper poverty, lower middle class, somewhere between there, is can afford, right? Like I can afford $100 projector. I can't afford $1,000 projector, and they'll have like these big YouTube people with like, the fancy lighting and all that, and they get millions of dollars in sponsors and stuff. Ben Heck, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't have the money and sponsorships that Ben Heck has, so I can't really snob something like this. I only have like my own little what I have, right? So like I don't have like they go to them. They're on like a $2,000 computer that it does the same thing that this computer can do, but
yeah.
You have too much stuff. You can have less stuff and better stuff.
I like playing around with this stuff that's not expensive either, because it's
yeah.
there's tech that's cheap, and a lot of people, they want to see, well, this thing is like $100 compared to the $1,000 thing. I want to see how the $100 thing works. Is it any decent? And a lot of the time, that's when I go on YouTube. I want to see, well, is this thing any good? I want someone who's going to kind of give someone like myself is a little rough around the edges and is going to tell you what it's really like. Not like a super like well-produced video that's going to sell you the thing like on the shopping network and never tell you that the thing is like crap.
Yeah.
I got You ever watch some of those shopping networks? Next thing you know, you start reaching for the phone. You're like, I got to turn this channel.
Exactly.
I've never bought anything, but I watch.
No, I haven't either.
Yes.
That's actual propaganda that work. That does work.
I've
when you're reaching your phone and your credit card, that's powerful propaganda.
Yeah. Oh, and people buy it. I mean, well, the thing, and I feel like it got burned because, like in the late '80s for Christmas, I guess I'm glad I have it. But I wanted a computer and a video game system, so what I got was like the Atari XE computer. This is like 1990. And I bought the
Atari computer?
Yeah, so I bought
the below clunky thing, beige thing that
not an ST computer, but an XE computer, an 8-bit computer. Like this is like when 8-bit.
Yes, the old clunky beige computer that was erasing its own tapes. Is it that one? No?
I don't know. Someone's upset because I didn't answer their question, but I don't see where it is in the comments. I'm sorry. I mean, call in. If you got a question, you need an answer, you're demanding an answer, call in.
Okay, I'm gonna put those here. So
is this you? Is this another feed, Kevin?
That's the other Kevin.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Like I'm just skipping through these answers, and then I'm like not getting all the context of it. So sorry.
Yeah, some of those projectors, I got one I found on the side of the road, and it seems to work fine. That's how cheap.
I got one. I got a projector at a garage sale for like $20. I still have to find a light bulb for it, but it works pretty fine.
And everyone knows what I'm using for projector, so so I won't talk about it. That's not the same product. It weighs 200 pounds.
Oh yeah,
I remember those. I've seen those back in the '80s. The ones with the.
I remember I did buy. Yeah, I bought one, or I got it really, really cheap used, and the lamp was burnt out on it, and it ended up I put an overhead projector lamp in it to get it to working again.
Yeah, I did have back in the 90s. Sony was making a round gray projector that you could project in front or at the ceiling, and those little projector cost about $800 back then, and they were and the light on them was the same light you use in uh, as those little 12 volts thing with a projector. They uh, they use that in some
Paul
own
Stringer has
design.
a
So
comment here, and I kind of disagree
yep,
with it. It says here in Canada, Canadian satellite TV and cable are going streaming. What I disagree with that is I doubt that because Canada is such a huge country, and parts of rural parts of Canada cannot get reliable internet still. So I I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think they're trying to push products where they do where they're dead, but I think there's still going to be subscription satellite.
that's my case.
Um,
No, and no, no
like
nothing.
someone like Patrick, where he lives out in the boonies, you still need satellite to get a lot of your like for it's just almost it's needed. Like you can't get a streaming service. You get like maybe a little bit of internet, but it's not very. So I'd say satellite is not going anywhere soon. And there's a ton of rumors, doom and gloom, rumors, nothing new, eh? But yeah, I just wanted to address that because I don't think satellite TV is
We're gonna have
going to go
some
away.
WiMAX, but it's
Yeah,
still Wi-Fi. So
Honestly,
and I'm
like
not defending Shaw and Bell, but I mean I don't think they're going to close their business down. And if Rogers were to acquire Shaw, I don't think Rogers would just shut that down. You know, they would have to keep that going, or they'd sell it if it's something that's not making money. They may try to sell it off, but I don't see them doing that because I bet you it's probably making money. They have their overheads all been paid for with the satellite receivers all being installed.
yeah, my where I live, my internet isn't super great. It always disconnects. So streaming like isn't really an option. So that's why I want to get like satellite, free to air satellite.
yeah, me my internet is reliable, but reliably slow. It's a 5 megabyte ADSL that still work right for what it is. So I cannot stream stuff legally. I need to go the other way
Yeah.
just because of the speed.
Paul says Rogers is trying to force my buddy to go to Ignite. I think they're going to force everyone to get to that technology where basically all the Rogers cable boxes in Canada are streaming boxes. So they all connect to the router. So they have the Ignite thing, which is now well, the pros of it, and I gotta say it is a good pro. You don't have to run cable to each room. You just get the Ignite box, which they charge you. I don't know what they charge you, $25 a month, $20 a month to have an extra box on top of paying for your cable. I don't know how all that works. It's cable, right? They like to rip you off as much as they can, um, but they do have the Ignite, and I think they're trying to get away from the set-top cable boxes like that. Actually, you plug cable into. It's all going to run through the Wi-Fi and through their router. So, be interesting. But I think that's what Rogers is pushing for. They want everyone to get on that more bandwidth, probably too, right? Because they can get a lot. They can get a lot more channels. They get a lot more analytical. And well, if they weren't getting more analytical data on what you're
Well,
watching,
uh,
they love that. They love
when you stream from their server, they're gonna have analytics.
You're also their product. They're using you as their product to get analytical data on what you're watching. That's why I like free satellite TV. There's an amount of privacy to what you're watching. You're not having everything being watched on you.
I didn't think of that actually. like services like Helix and Ignite. I didn't think about that.
Alice, Ignite, and in Bell, it's Bell 5 or
Bill Fiverr. I don't know what they
5,
call it.
not Fiber.
Fiber.
Not Fiber, Fib. They don't say fiber because it's not actually fiber or right to the house, but all those one of my friends has that, and he's always calling them. They always have technical problems.
Bell is crap. I just want to say, like, I remember I had Bell like a few years ago, and they would always call that my bill was overdue, which it wasn't, and they still owe them.
That's cable and satellite, and there's better alternatives now. If you're here, if you made it this far to this stream, you know there's better alternatives, and you can get free to air satellite. You can watch TV with an antenna. And you can watch a ton of stuff free on the internet. Like my YouTube channel is a good one. You can spend hours watching that. There you go.
There's tons of great content on
Robbie's
channel.
Yeah. And another thing is, like, other stuff that I do follow, I don't have enough time to watch all the channels that I follow. So, like, I could be, like, sitting watching TV all the time on YouTube is, like, where I could be all the time. Because I don't really care about a lot of the stuff that's on mainstream media TV now. Like we're talking about old computers and stuff like that. I like channels where they talk about old computers because I'm kind of a computer historian myself.
The comment from Dunn is interesting here. You say that he kept a lot of his old LNBs. The problem with those old LNBs, they're not stable enough for digital signal. Digital streams, so they're kind of useless. If you have to check for the they call it the temperature, in Kelvin degrees, the degrees on them has to be for Cuban has to be, I think, lower than 8 or 0.8, 0.9, and maybe 35 kilo. 35K on the C-band, not sure, but you gotta have stable LNBs, and all those California amplificator LNBs are crap with what we use today.
From John Riddle, Todd J. Riddle, sorry. If you guys got a smart TV, you can get Pluto TV, and that's a free app. Unfortunately, with Pluto on the Roku TVs in Canada, they limit a lot of the content that we're able to get unless you go through a VPN and set up all that, which is a whole day of learning how to do all that on watching you get your YouTube degree on how to set up VPN services and all that.
There's two main channels I watch on Pluto. I watch the British drama, and there's Doc Martin. I don't watch a lot of Doc Martin. I just see what episodes are on. I think he's on from 9 or 8 to 10 or 11 or something like that. And then there's the Doctor Who channel. Not like I haven't seen.
Oh, yeah. Like
I don't like the new Doctor.
Is it like the new Doctor Who or the old school?
The new Doctor? I don't like the new Doctor S.
I never watched Doctor Who. I should, though. I should watch Doctor Who at some point.
I like the old school.
Do you get BBC America on anything?
We don't have
BBC America channel.
No, I don't think we have BBC. But
I watched the old school Doctor Who when it was on Retro TV. When Retro TV was on Galaxy 19. And
that's what they have on Pluto's. They have the old Doctors. The one from the first Doctor up till 89 or whatever when they stopped. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think with Retro TV and all the tune-in media, whatever they are now, I'll Google it. I think they do have a streaming app where you can view a lot of the stuff that's on.
You said that is on Retro here. Don says that.
Yeah, but you can't. Last time I tried a couple months ago, or at least this year, I couldn't. When they had Doctor Who on, they weren't showing it on that streaming channel.
Oh yes, because it's a region blocked thing because of the rights because of the. Yeah, okay, I can see them do that.
Nevertheless, I don't get what's the fuss with Doctor Who. Maybe it's a culture thing. I don't know. I never get it. those direct thing. Everyone have a crush on those direct stuff.
So, Kurt, were you talking about the retro TV? Like, you go to their website. A lot of these channels, you go to their website, and you can actually watch their feed off their website. But I think there's certain shows where they don't have streaming rights, and then they'll show another program
is one
during
of them,
that.
I believe.
Yeah. That's
what
another thing. Is YouTube America is a channel like that. I'll show you this screenshot of what I got going on right now. So yeah, you go to Retro TV. Well, it's Get After It Media, which is the old Lucan Broadcasting. Now they're Get After It Media, and they have like a ton of streams. Another place, if you actually look on Linksat, you'll see a bunch of like you see the websites, all the TV stations. You go to the TV channels that are on the satellite. A lot of them, they do have their stream up on their website. So if you know how to take the M3U or the stream and make yourself an M3U playlist out of that, you could do that. We did have Todd. He made a pretty good M3U playlist that you could just watch in VLC and click and watch, go to whatever channels you would want to watch, and it would be great.
But what we're saying right now is that you're better off with a C-band dish.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, KM asked, howdy guys, is 4D TV still a service? I don't know if you would say, yeah, okay, it's no longer. I don't know. We don't talk about the other service. I could talk about it a bit. I'll show you their website. It's what's the
they talk about some of it on
Reiner Satellite. Reiner Satellite. But the thing is, it's so expensive. You're better off just to get Dish Network, Bell, or one of those services because it's so expensive. Like to get the receiver to be able to get the stuff.
Is it still the DSR 920 or 922? Because what I don't get about this 4D TV, you for the HD TV, you need to have the sidecar. I have a sidecar here. The sidecar is a DSR something that you hook up with the DSR 22 and 922. But what I don't get is 4D TV is dead in the fact that the stream. This is actually the type of digital stream for DTV, and if you check on Linksat, they all went to the new stream matrix that is different for the broadcaster. So it needs new receivers. So
I don't know if they have that. Reiner Satellite.
There's no 4D TV anymore.
Yeah.
There's no 4D TV stream anymore.
And I'm surprised they're still around and advertising. But they do advertise now. They used to be, say, a bunch of channels that were free to air were part of their service, but it was like they're free to air channels. You can watch them on free to air.
Yeah. But they won't be broadcasted on 4D TV technologies. That will forget it.
If they have a store, I should check their store.
A 4D.
A satellite dish positioner for $160. That's all they really have right now on their store.
It won't work on those.
Well, they talk about the 4D TV.
Those stream doesn't
and some of
doesn't exist anymore. They're called Verimax, I think, from Linksat.
Yeah.
So I think they're talking about another receiver.
Here's the receiver here. Satellite receivers.
Yeah. What is it exactly?
Link box. Oh, they're selling link boxes. 580 FTA IPTV receivers, but I think they're trying to do it through IPTV. I'm not sure how they're doing that.
They were another.
They also have like a pretty cringe emoji right there.
Oh yeah. They're pushing their link box receiver. I don't know if it's I don't know. I haven't really looked into this stuff.
I have never heard of 4D TV.
That was like the old subscription. And they're not
4D TV is actually the first technology they use to broadcast with Shaw Direct. Shaw Direct is actually using for the TV for the first years. Those are not for DTV. I
So
don't
here's their
think.
Six
new low
hundred
price:
dollars.
$600 for the receiver for
What
their
kind of
HD.
receiver is that?
It's a Cisco Encore D9.
Those were not for DTV. It's a new one.
Yeah, it's an HD one. They recently had that out over the last few years, but then they said over
So
4,600 receivers sold. I don't know anyone who has one, and I
yeah,
would think doing the stuff that I do about free to air, someone would say, "I got Rainier, but I'm not happy with them, or I am happy with them." I never heard anyone say that. Like,
I don't think anybody
D9.
have Rainer.
I don't know anyone who has Rainier.
Man, what's the point of this receiver?
Well, it's a part. So you buy the receiver, then you can buy their service, and it's like you can buy it a la carte or whatever. Like
For the same, for probably the same price, you can probably get like a great free to air satellite.
Yeah.
And receiver for far
but
less.
you won't get the network like the cable networks,
Yeah.
right? You won't get
I don't even. I mean,
Okay.
don't quote me on that, but I don't think there's any legal way to do that, like on free to air. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, these guys, I think
I'm reading the user manual right now.
They're the only one that offers that for C-band, and they still offer C-band. And I keep people asking me what do they think of it. And I'm like, I wouldn't pay for it, but I wouldn't pay for like cable or the other guys either. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And like, there's tons of
interesting
great
exist.
stuff. There's tons of great channels on like free to air. So
Right now, I'm reading the user manual of this receiver, and I don't get the point right now. Why we will use that? But I will come back.
They sell the subscriptions for it. I'm just trying to pull up their.
Yeah, but what is the actual payload on this? What is the digital payload? From what I understand right now, there's an HDMI port on this. So
worth the $700 it is.
Yeah, considering the fact that
it's an MPEG-4 receiver and MPEG-2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, an MPEG-4. This one does H.265 and it's 88. Oh no, this one's 100.
Oh, I get it. It's a power view conditional access. So they switch from DTV to power view. They switch from the Motorola encryption scheme, the DG Safer. They went from the DG Safer to the power view. So it's actually a power view receiver, a professional power view receiver.
Is that what that is? I'm order program review. They have here's a programming. I'm gonna bring up that order programming. They have packages.
I'm in the user manual right now, and I can tell you that I get what they did. They switched to one transporter, and they're cramming all the channel on that transporter.
Yeah, I'm not endorsing people to rent out buy this. I'd say do your research and don't go by with what I'm saying.
$300
a year. Yeah, you can buy like packages where that was how it used to work with 4D TV. And so they would have like $31 a month, or you pay yearly. So they have WGN America. I'd like to know what satellite they aiming at.
It would be just cheaper to get a cable subscription or like free to air or something.
But you know what? Maybe this is for people that live rural. They want,
Yeah. That makes more sense.
They want to get C-band service because C-band is more reliable than the KU
Yeah.
band. But it's like the amount of time you're like, if you have KU band and your signal's cutting out on you, get a bigger dish. Like put a probably would make your dish perform better. I'm just gonna minimize this.
There's a drawback in that, from what I understand. Back in the day, for the channel were the only channel used for a broadcaster, so they have all the quality available on that channel. Now they're cramming all the the channel on the same transporter or few transporter, and then they do encrypt it with PowerView instead of DigiCipher. So that's the point of this receiver, to use PowerView instead of DigiCipher. So that's why you're paying a nifty price for the receiver. It has the built-in PowerView chip and all those encryption. So they switch from 40 TV to PowerView. That's what they did.
Mhm.
No, yeah, you think so? I don't
Oh,
think.
I'm sure of it. I get it. I just read some point on the some part of the user manual, and I get what they did. And unfortunately for us, that's not the main the best way to have the most quality in your image like before. That was the point of having those 4D TV back in the days. It was to have the best image quality you can get. Now, not so much. So that's pointless to have those receiver. Uh, Apart from the fact that you said that it was more reliable with a big dish, for sure.
Now we can see you killing out the bulbs.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't care, and I think the consumer will always be right when picture quality versus content, like the amount of content, will always the one that has the more amount of content will always win out. And this is like goes all the way back to the VHS beta war, where
Mm.
because there was more content on VHS, that it kind of won that content war. So it's all like the availability of the content will always win out. And if it's like a streaming movie on Netflix and the quality is not as good of as a Blu-ray, but
Absolutely not.
I'd rather watch a movie on Netflix than have to have a Blu-ray player and have to buy a Blu-ray, right?
That's
Yeah.
A movie collector, it might be different. Like if you're a real
that
hardcore movie
difference for the
collector,
movie collector for sure.
they'd want to buy the hard media and have a Blu-ray of that actual movie and be able to have it like in their live, like have a physical copy,
Mhm.
which is kind of going away because like
But
I think
you want
having
more
physical
quality if you have if you have show with a load of production value with a ton of million of dollars on every show. Maybe it's a good thing not seeing it on your old CRT. When I'm thinking about shows from HBO and all those stuff that have so much quality in it that maybe you're better off watching it on the good TV.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. I watch everything on my computer.
those folks.
Or I watch it on the projector, but I really don't watch a whole lot on the projector. It's more for the kids. They watch their home videos or something, or Cocomelon cartoons.
Yeah, I used to.
Cartoons are great for projectors.
Oh yeah,
I used to borrow the projector from work, and back in the early, like the like 2003, 2004. I had it. I would pull it out from time to time, but I haven't done the projector in a long time.
I find projectors are a novelty. Like it looks cool. The thing about a projector, it's a novelty because you can only use it when it's dark. Like I'd rather have a like get a big screen TV, and the picture quality will actually be better, even though it might be a little bit smaller. Like even if it's a 60-inch TV, the picture quality is going to be better on the 60-inch TV than it will be on a projector. So I would say I would rather get a 60-inch, but projectors are fun. I mean, they're a novelty, but I wouldn't spend money. I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money on a projector.
I
Yeah.
found out that actually what you say is quite true because those who are actually using their projector every day or every weekend, etc., those are the ones that are using a really good setup that they can go to their basement with one push of the button. The screen goes down, the power, the system is starting up, the projector is open up, and it's
Yeah.
ready to put a DVD or a show right away. In that case, those are really used. In my case, I have to move my projector back, go down the screen by the hand, and set and find three adapters to hook up my old projector to my laptop, and a lot. I think it takes 30 minutes or
Some
so.
people, what they do is they set all this stuff up in their basement, and then they find out it's cold in their basement in the wintertime, and they never want to sit down there and watch it. Right? So they're watching TV upstairs on the actual TV. So yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even want to be in my room where I am right now because it's cold.
Oh,
I
really?
kept it cold here
Yeah.
too.
Are you in Are you in the lower level or the upper level?
I am in the lower.
I'm in the lower level now, but I'm not going to stay here all night. And I was out shoveling snow today too. Like, so
You mean if am in the basement?
yeah? Are you in the basement?
No, I am in upstairs.
Upstairs. Okay. I always
I
thought
don't even want to go in my basement. It's
Upstairs is
It's
upstairs
crawling
is-
down there.
Well, it's always colder in the basement. especially-
Let's say it looks like a horror movie basement.
Oh, I should have shoot there for my movie here.
Did you shoot that too, Patrick, or were you just editing, or you were on the on?
I shoot. I shoot. I was the main. I was the main shooter on this.
Oh, you were
this
operating the
movie,
camera
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I did all. The only thing I did not, and no one did, is the sound. So it's a lot of work because of that. No one was on the sound, so. But yes, I did shoot it. I did it, and we found a lot of place to make good. Our movie, our scene. We went to a place that it was kind of an old second house in wood that was burned down, and the guy died there in the fire. So we went there and shoot a movie. We went to the attic and all that, and they have. We went to another place that was. An old house that was about to go down, and we make some shot there. The fact is that those kind of movie, if you don't show much, you can suggest a lot by just putting grain on stuff on those kind of places that and make for a great horror scenes just because of that. With a little blood and good makeup, you make a great stuff that way, and it doesn't cost much, but you gotta find it, and if you have the authorization, it work well. If you don't, that's a
What's
problem
with that
going.
4:2:2 format? I bet you need a huge 12-foot dish or bigger for it to work properly. No, I get it
No,
with me. I get it
doesn't
with me,
relate.
Twitter. Actually, 4422 is on KU. It's really just a codec.
Yes,
Like-
it's the compression scheme. It's the analog compression scheme that that went to digital at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of receivers don't have the capability of doing that, but any receiver like the Open ATV ones, like the Enigma, I don't think it will work when you have a 422 feed when you're viewing it. But if you actually stream it to VLC, like to your computer, you'll view it there. That's how I've done it.
DVB Dream can use that also.
DVB Dream would be DVB Dream can view. I would imagine it because it could do all codecs, right? Like it's a computer, so
DVB Dream will see everything that your card can demux. We say
it's
that.
a computer, and it can do more things, but it's more complicated to set up.
Yeah, for sure. We were gonna talk about that later, but yeah, the thing with the 422, it's actually one thing. It's a projection compression scheme. You don't need it to. You won't see much of the difference just for watching television. The point of having receiver that can decode 422 is for if you want to have the stream
Yeah, if there's a
the
feed out
stream,
there someone really wants, they
the
want to pay me
news
a whole lot of
feeds and
money.
stuff like that.
I'll sell you my AZ box for like, it's just sitting on a shelf. I don't really use it because, and it doesn't do 422 the greatest, but I guess it apparently does it a little bit.
422 exists solely for the fact that if you need to rebroadcast it, use it and mess with it, so it keep the quality up. But for watching it, you won't see much of a difference.
So here is this program here. This is called. Sorry about the flicker at the top of the screen. This is DVB Dream Set. And this is a channel editor for this is channel editor for the OpenATV. So I got mine set up here to look at the channels. You also is what I like it for is you gotta go in and read your channel list. It'll download from the receiver if it's connected to your network.
Can you save it? Can you save it as a file?
Yes, you can back up all your channels. So, like, if everyone in our club had like a channel list and they didn't want to scan everything, I guess what you could do is send the file out to all your friends. I guess we're kind of doing that over at TBROsat for a while, and then we're not doing it now. What I like about it is it has a signal meter, so you can see the signal quality when you're moving your dish. I really hate that.
So you can use those files with DVD.
Is that BB stuff, radio stuff? Is that what that is, Robbie?
Yeah, it's got like a little bit of everything that's in my receiver. This is my Gamma receiver, but I gotta edit all the channels because like the Gamma receiver didn't really do a blind scan very well, but so I would have to manually enter in all the transponders to get it to work, and it's also this is working in Linux. So this is actually running in Wines, but I found the best application that runs that is plays on Linux. So you run Wine with plays on Linux in Linux Mint, because I used to find this was really crashy before, but I can sit at my computer and change the channels because the remote on these things it really sucks. So at least you can find the channels you're looking for. Say if you're looking for pause. Positive TV on 97 West, you can click on that and I hit spacebar. It goes to that, and there is showing positive TV. And you can in Windows you can view it in VLC and things like that as well. So it's kind of a neat program to have if you have one of those OpenATV receivers. I've done a video kind of profiling this a long time ago, but I remember having a hard time getting it to work in Linux, and I had to actually use Windows. But I find now it's working in Linux a lot better now.
There's a comment from Larry Kenny that says that his 422 channel are working poorly on some satellite. He make a relation that I think I got what his point is that probably that the 422 channel take more bandwidth. So if you have your full 30 megabyte, your payload will be at that, and if you don't receive the transponder well enough, you can get all the payload you need, the full bandwidth of your transponder, because the 422 will probably use that full bandwidth for the purpose of having the best quality possible. So that's maybe what he's talking about. So that's if you have a transponder that's using all the bandwidth possible for that transponder for one channel, and you're not set up right, your FEC is not the best one for a poor signal, because you need all the bandwidth possible. That's what probably won't work, and it will probably won't work in that case. So I get what he say, but there's no direct relation with both.
And I think I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. And we're gonna do another. I was gonna do another live stream for not next week because it's Christmas, but it's Christmas Day. But I'll probably do another live stream on January 1st, New Year's night, because there'll be changes. There always is on Saturday. We lose channels, we gain channels. Also, a lot of the Galaxy 19 channels are changing transponders. So if you're a Galaxy 19 viewer, you'll probably want to do a rescan. That New Year's Eve is where things are going to switch up a bit. So be mindful of that. If you lose some of the channels, or the radio channels, especially that you're used to picking up on Galaxy 19, you might want to just do a rescan and then also delete the transponder. What I would do on a receiver is delete the transponder that has all the like you go to the transponder list, delete the transponder, and usually when you delete the transponder, it'll delete all the channels that don't work anymore. So I don't know if I missed some comments. I moved my browser around, so I lost all the old comments here. But we'll start over again.
There's a comment from Mark Gibson. I think we won't answer that.
No, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
It's basically
acknowledge his question, but
yeah, I guess gotta agree with the rundown. I gotta say this every time. So yeah, we promote free satellite TV, which is unencrypted free channels. We're not promoting piracy with satellite. If that's what you're interested in, we're just not going to find much from us about that. We're more about getting people into the hobby of like how to set up a satellite dish, where to aim it to, what channels are where, and hopefully, if you're looking for that, it's a small niche hobby. But if you're interested in that sort of stuff, you can always check it out. And you might have one of those big C-band satellite dishes in your yard still, and you haven't used it's not been used in years. It's a great thing to play around with. You can get a ton of interesting stuff that you can look at on them.
I will add I will add that you can start your craft here before trying to mess with that thing, with those things, because it's way more fun to play around with C-band dish the way we do that. It's way more fun than trying to mess with that type of receiver you're talking about.
Jay wanted me to promote the HEVC antenna and free-to-air satellite dishes that Paul Stringer founded up on Facebook. It's actually gotten quite a lot of members now, and so it's a good place if you're interested in free TV. Lots of videos and also people to help you if you have questions. Another good place to go is our Discord server. I had Patrick helping me today on Discord. We were connected there. I was able to show my computer screen for one of the programs for the Dream Set program. No, not Dream Set. Dream DVD. They're always Dream something. Sometimes they're a nightmare, not a dream. Try to get them working.
There's a Larry Kenny who says, "What is HEVC?" I scanned in a bunch of channels on C-band. You should say on which transponder is scanned that. He did scan that, or on which sat? Because I don't know. Maybe you do. That much is quite incredible. What he's talking about?
Sometimes I don't know if I'm getting. Sometimes you can get like a with HEVC. Move my camera here. Oh, see, I'm putting that screen here. With HEVC, it's the new compression. Like instead of H.264, it's H.265. It's basically like MPEG-4. I don't know if it's MPEG, but I don't know what it's just called HEVC or H.265. Maybe they call it, I don't know, MPEG-5, but it's just a newer compression that they use. Mm-hmm. So we're starting to see more and more channels that are starting to use HEVC, like all the channels that are over on. I should show this here because I don't know if there's new viewers. I actually have it over my favorites.
But 300 channel, that's quite high for the same transponder. That's never been possible.
From a transponder, that'd probably be radio, I would think.
Oh yeah, okay, I get it. I saw one time those little 320 by 240 image with they show the radio, the sound on the radio that was playing. So those are only radio station with a display of
Yeah,
of what they are playing right now.
yeah.
So
And then there's like the I have it on Posy, but then there's like the AWE channel. Oh yeah, I have to hit the space bar to zap to it. And they use the term zap to it to change the channel. It's just something that these whoever the Europeans who write the software for this stuff um, uh, tend to use here.
so Leo says that he saw a 600 channel on 105 West.
105 West. Is 105 West the one that that company we were just talking about? They have their subscription service on. That's what I thought. I thought they were 105 West for Reiner satellite. You had to have your C-band dish pointed at that satellite.
I have a thought here. We should hook up with those flatters, with those flattered guy, so they can learn some C-band stuff. That will help their cause.
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Maybe the flat earthers think we're in on the conspiracy. I don't know.
I'm planning on getting a satellite dish soon.
Sorry, Cyberpunk. I might have missed your question earlier. I saw it, and where can I buy all set up 4K satellite dishes? Any suggestions? I guess the best suggestion, because there's one channel on 4K, only one 4K channel, and it's NASA TV. I think there's a few other ones. Maybe the Fashion Channel is on 4K.
Oh yes.
Wait, there's a NASA channel on free to air satellite?
Yes.
Yeah. In 4K.
127 West, and it's 4K. The NASA channel, and there's two other channels too. There's like so the 4K channel is like they have like I don't know like meditation music, and they just show pictures from the International Space Station. So it's not like it's last year the TV channel, but the TV channel I think it's 720p. Maybe it's 1080. I'm not sure.
And that's on KU band, right?
No,
C band.
Okay.
It used to be on KU band, but it's all on C band now. Ever since they got the 4K channel, but it's the only thing that's really there. You'll need to buy a modern receiver like the Amiko here. I got it right here.
Yeah, I'm planning on buying a satellite next month.
Or you can buy the DVB Dream tuner card and have the headache.
Yeah, I could put it in my HTPC if I. But I want to start with a KU band and like move up to C band.
I would recommend anyone starting buy like an Amiko receiver just because it will be easier to set up a system.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with an Amiko.
Because I talked to a lot of people. They tried free to air and they say they messed around with it for hours and they didn't get anything. Also try our Discord. So I'd recommend like a cheap handheld receiver, maybe even one of those.
Yeah.
Good
yeah, but I get something here from what you say is that it's now harder to get into those FTA C-band dish and all because when I started there was still analog signal. So if I was messing with my big dish, I can end up knowing where I was and fine-tuning it and stuff like that. And back in the day, my deuce out was analog. So it helped a lot to install the dish. So nowadays, if you're with the digital stuff, the digital payload, we call it a payload intercommunication. We can see shit. We can see nothing if you're not tuned right.
I just want to answer Don Beast's question here. There's no such thing as an HD dish. No, they're pretty much like HD. Even 4K will work on any satellite dish. It's just the reflector to get the signal and the LMB. The LMB, the LMB can actually pull in, I don't know, like 20. Like in this case here, I'll show you. I'm using a Shaw Direct dish to pick this up as one transponder, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 channels on one transponder, which in the olden days that would have been like
One channel.
one analog channel.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm talking when I said
yeah,
payload.
yeah,
You just showed what I said. That was a payload. If you back in the day, you were able to see right away some kind of image with a lot of grain at first. Nowadays, you have this as a payload, so you gotta be fine tuned right to see that. Otherwise, we will see nothing. That's what is hard for newcomers on the
yeah.
C-band dish.
So someone was asking about
Yeah.
105 West. North Coaster answered that question. Yeah, I think there's like 600 radio channels. So if you do, I think I was doing a scan one day, and I scanned 105 West, and it like scanned like 600 channels, and it was all audio channels. Almost like too much to go through. But apparently, in those channels, if you're a Coast to Coast AM fan, I think Coast to Coast AM's in that mess of 600 channels. If you want to go through each one and listen for Coast to Coast AM.
Is it still good, Coast to Coast AM? Because I left them when the guy died. So
When Nori, not Nori,
Art Bell.
Art Bell died. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
The
was
show is
awesome.
really good. Like the one you mentioned, like when he was on, it was really good because I listened to a lot of archive of that show.
Who can forget Mel's Hole?
Oh, I was not speaking English by then. Who is it?
Oh, there's some episode he talks about this hole in the ground, and I don't know, it's really far out there.
The one I have listened to is the guy that
Shadow
claims to be from
people.
Area 50. 51.
Oh, the guy with the big glasses. Yeah.
And he gets like cut off in the radio
Now
station.
he has a producer now, and he's talking about stuff. He's still there. He's still there. There were a documentary about the new UFO they supposedly found with the aircraft and stuff like that. And
I remember I used to watch Arthur C. Clarke's Mysteries of the World, and that was like an old show back when I saw it. Because it used to be rerun on YTV back in the
YTV. You mean the
yeah YTV. Like YTV was it had a lot of good shows in the early days. I used to love YTV back like when it first started. It was great, and then after they went with all the cartoons and stuff like that.
I mostly remember YTV for the cartoons.
Yeah,
it was
like
something
Canadian
else
shows.
before.
Yeah, well, it was a youth YTV youth programming or like young programming or whatever. But it had like the old Smith and Smith shows, like before Red Green started the Red Green show. Like he had a ton of shows.
Oh, speaking of Red Green, I got to put a plug in for duct tape. I had to. I can't find the right pipe for my kitchen sink drain, so I had to duct tape it again.
Yeah, that's a good way of fixing it. I mean, yeah.
Well,
I was going to duct tape my fence, but I ended up getting. I used wraparound, which is that metal wraparound stuff. So
hell, I duct tape my car. The hood of my car, I put duct tape to keep the water off.
Wrap around.
My hood had a hole in it, and it kept getting water into the motor, so I just put a duct tape, and it's been holding there ever since.
Yeah, North Coaster know what I'm talking about. I think he watched YTV back in like the early days of YTV, and there's a lot of good shows there. I mean, like they used to have Rocky and Bullwinkle after school. Get Smart used to be on all the time. That's another thing I used to.
Get Smart. You mean the 1950s or?
Yeah.
I watched it a few times on
not the
CHH.
movie, but like
You can duct tape your car, but don't duct tape your plane.
Yeah, I wish I still had my Shaw Direct LTSS receiver because that's like the main channel I used to watch on that was CHCH. And CHCH has become like the Canadian version of MeTV where they show a lot of the classic shows. Now they still have like, I don't know where their news programming, but I used to like their morning news programming. I used to like it better than CTV, and I liked it better than I liked it better than CBC and all the other ones. I don't think it just the delivery of it or whatever.
I used to watch it,
It's
the
Nick.
CHCH morning news as a kid.
Yeah, and then
I don't know why, but as a kid, I liked watching the news.
and it was like a good legacy for Canadian Broadcasting Channel CHCH because like I think SCTV started there, and like a lot of the Canadian TV shows that actually started from that small TV station out of Hamilton.
Hmm.
So there's a few questions in here. I'm just trying to.
So Robbie, what did you duct tape?
I didn't duct tape my fence, but I used wraparound. You know, the metal stuff that you can cut, like.
To straight up your fence or what?
Just to straighten the top part up, because I do need to replace one of the fence posts because it's rotten. It's pulled out of the ground. The original homeowner that lived here before me, they only put the fence posts in like 1.5 feet in the ground. Yeah.
And you're putting dish on that bad idea.
Yeah. My Saw Direct Galaxy 19, which obviously is working now because you've seen the running here, like the signal quality on the DreamSet program, right? This is from a satellite dish that is on that fence. And if I go back to Galaxy 19, I'll just type in Posy. Actually, RT. No. I'll just type in Posy.
Posy.
Oh, I have to go to all channels here to actually see Russia Today or Galaxy 19. Or I can just go to Galaxy 19, just drag down where I can find Galaxy 19. This is what I hate about it. Like, there are so many. I should just delete a bunch of these satellites. I don't need 88 West KU band because I'm never going to have my receiver in a part of the world that can pick that up. I should.
Yeah,
just
you can take hours and hours on fine tuning.
I have a question though about KU band. Can I get like Russian television channels?
There's a few channels that are Russian channels on Galaxy 19, but not all their most mainstream stuff.
No, you cannot on the mainstream. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like whatever they will have piped into our area. So
you get
it
the
would be
boring
funny
stuff.
to get like North Korea TV signals there.
Yeah, I think we still do that.
Like, you could actually get like TV signals from North Korea.
Yeah, I saw. There's a.
Oh yes,
I saw a North Korean channel one time. I think
it doesn't broadcast all the time, but like I see it sometimes Monday or Tuesday mornings after like when my dish is still parked on 55 West, and one of the channels is the Korean channel. They show the Korean propaganda. And all the people are like so joyed to see.
Yeah,
you know, and he's like, oh,
I don't know. But I just find this hilarious. Just find like propaganda channels. It's like you said.
Canada. It's called the Canadian Broadcast, the CBC.
Yeah.
That's propaganda, and not on the cheap.
News.
And they're not cheap. They're not cheap, by the way. They make good quality propaganda.
Yeah, but there's like a difference between North Korea and Canada.
The difference, the socks are on Trudeau's feet.
And like you're not afraid of dying if you say something wrong about the government.
Yeah, sure, shut up, yeah.
Yeah, we won't get too much into politics, but I mean there is the
No, we went.
I don't like getting into politics.
But I mean, if you're interested, and also CPAC is like all three CPAC channels are on 125 West. I'm actually happy to see that. I love listening to Washington Journal. There is stuff they were talking about there that I'm not going to talk about here because I'll get banned. But just the callers, it was just fun to listen to that.
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying like if I get like North Korea like TV signals is because I'm actually researching North Korea.
Now those signals are probably put online somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like if you do a search, it's usually the same video that they show over.
Yeah,
and
but
over
they're
again.
not broadcasting from there.
They're probably it's probably unofficial broadcast. I'm probably saying
it's
that
official.
out of the blue, but
I think it's going to Cuba because isn't it part of the Cuban because of the communist? And so they have the North Korean broadcast on 55 West.
You're so bright.
Or something like that.
Yeah, that
Or
also like,
or what's the other country that's like Venezuela? Are they still? Or they decided that was
I
not
don't
a good,
know.
it's just not working for them.
At this point, we're ready for that in Canada.
I do know which country you're talking about. I don't remember the name.
So Robbie, I gotta get going.
I think it is Venezuela. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
That's just laughing at that.
Oh, God, that's bad.
North Korea don't get the food network.
They have no Food Network at all.
That's a shame. They won't see. What was that guy that like made like a cooking channel, cooking shows, but he was like his whole like hair was like blonde and spiky.
Alton Brown.
I
Good
think
Eats.
I do know there's like a. I saw a video that he took his show and they like made like a funny dub of it.
So I'm gonna get going, guys. I gotta get to bed.
Thanks for tuning in, Turk. I should probably go to bed too soon too.
Yeah,
So,
me too. I'm tired.
I'm
I've been on the
doing it
road
later.
all day.
So you might be on New Year's Day then.
Same time, New Year's night, and I'll try to get
New Year's night.
the new same time. Just it'll be Saturday night.
Okay.
I don't know if there'll be as many people tuning in that night, but I know some of us will be here. So I'll just report the news. If we have a chat, we'll have a chat. If not, I just finished up early. Just cover some of the satellite news that's going to happen at just the transponder changes or whatever.
Yeah.
And Linksat and TV Eurosat probably will not be updated because it's a holiday, long weekend, right? And it's you'll read about it probably on Rick's Wild Feeds or maybe on our on one of our groups. We do have I have a new channel on our Discord for like if you find new feeds, post them up there.
Okay. So Merry Christmas. I'll catch you later.
Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Christmas.
Goodbye, Kurt. Thanks.
And then we're gonna do our next episode. We're gonna get some oil for eggplant's chair.
I'm probably gonna get a new chair by then.
Hopefully, Santa brings you a new one for Christmas.
Yeah, this is like an old chair from like the 70s.
Oh, really?
Put some
Yeah.
WD-40 on that.
I bought it at a garage sale, and I really like it. And now my mother has a really hard time getting rid of it.
If you really like it, just get some like WD-40 or.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. But it
I've done
has
that
to
with
do
my
like
chair.
with a screw.
But don't feel cheap, huh? Mine is stuck from in front of a dumpster, so and it's quite fine from it's been 3 years, so
Yeah, the reason why I'm keeping like my chairs because it's the only chair that support my my weight. I had like a ton of gaming chair, they all broke. I had like one the chair started going on one side.
Oh, I see. Because I tried those and I'm not comfortable on those gamer chair.
I mostly break them.
And you break them. So whatever the case, it doesn't work for us.
Yeah. That's why I just keep my like 70 chair. But
there was a chair back 2-3 years ago that was a Tempur-Pedic chair with the same space foam for your bottom than
I think
the bed, so that will be
I
good.
tried out those office massage chairs. Those are like if I ever won the lottery or whatever, like the $500 chairs that.
Back in the day, I was using a big Elrond sofa, so I put a plate on both arms, and put my laptop on it or my mouse and keyboard, and I was comfortable. You cannot imagine. But the problem, you always lay down a bit. So,
As a
but
kid,
it works.
I used to have like a race car bed, and at the uh, at the very end of the bed, I had my little TV, and I had like my old computer there. So I would sit at the edge of like the hood of the race car bed that I had. So I would use my computer that my old Windows
Talking
98
about bed,
PC.
this is my childhood bed made by my father, so I still kept it.
My
So
mother made my bed once.
my father did make this bed back in '82,
Mm.
so I keep it. That's a souvenir.
I should
Those
still
things
have
are
it. Yeah,
important.
yeah. I
Yeah.
got like a bench that my grandfather built, and I hold on to it because my grandfather built it, right? And it's
You
I
you keep
have
those.
I still have the power extension that my grandfather built. I still use it to power my weed eater, electric weed eater, but I got a gas one from the trash can.
speaking of wire. I don't know if either you listen to shortwave. So the shortwave radio experts that just get some wire and cut it up like a 20 feet of wire. We're like, we're gonna get 20 feet of wire. Well, I had 20 feet of wire. I had an old vacuum cleaner that had the cord. The vacuum cleaner died, so I cut the cord off the vacuum cleaner and tried to use it as a
Ow!
shortwave antenna. It didn't work worth a damn though. Or I tried extension cords and rigging it up so it works like an
Uh,
antenna, but it didn't work worth a damn. So I'm like, okay,
you
well, someone's a
you're
bad
gonna
idea.
need to speak to a ham radio operator.
Yeah,
He will help you
but I
with
did talk to
with
one.
the lens according to the to the frequency or the
Oh yeah,
band.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I do know. I do know you have to have the length accord, like meters. How many meters you have to have for the
color wavelength, all those stuff. Yeah.
So what if you like it's 20 meters? You have 10 meters of cord. You just like plug it in another extension cord and make it
No,
20
the
feet.
fact is, my father, what he did when he was alive is he always used what we call inverted V's.
Mm.
So with the inverted V's, he took a coaxial cable, went up to the a trees 40 60 feet up, and there's a little dialectic inside of it. The cable goes there, and one side of the cable goes
Yeah, it goes
to
two ways.
one
Yes.
side of the antenna and the other, and you have many lengths. In this case, he had a length for the 20 meters, the 80 meters, some stuff like that.
I
So
don't
what
even
you
think
do?
my property is that big to put up an antenna that big.
Back in the day, we had a cable that went to the neighbor, another to the other neighbor. You can, but what you gotta understand is that you're making the length of your cable at a quarter of the of the main frequency of the band you are, so a quarter of the length of the wave. So stuff like that, you gotta end up talking to a ham radio who actually
Yeah,
took his license, and
yeah.
if it's good
I
for broadcasting, it will be good to for receiving also.
yeah. I use a very old satellite receiver that to ViewSat, an old ViewSat. It's really not good for anything, but I use it for radio on Galaxy 19, and
Mm.
I don't even have a TV hooked up to it. I just have it like set up so that I can pull in all the radio channels, and so I have. I don't even have my favorites. I just have it set up so that I can get the talk radio stuff, and so like all that stuff's on shortwave, but it's much more clearer when you just have a satellite receiver that's aimed at Galaxy 19, and you get the same channels without the shortwave radio fading in and out, and someone's talking and you lose their point because the signal drops on you and you can't hear what they're saying for like maybe
Yeah.
20 seconds.
The first time I listened to the show we were talking earlier with our bell back in the day, it was in Montreal, and even there, what the that's my chain of thought here. What I meant to say is that you listen to that and you wonder why is it that it's always a good reception when the ads are coming.
Yeah, it's always good when the ads are coming in. Yeah, someone says you can use bare RG6 cable, so I get like a retractable blade knife and cut open a whole RG6.
Yes,
Like 20 meters. That sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah. Actually, you could, but that's not cheap. You can just take electric cable, but one side only. You can buy them with
Oh yeah.
one one cable instead of both, instead of the two side of your. You just use one side. Those are used with radio for making your antennas. But the best stuff, you better off not using one. How am I gonna put it? I don't have the word. You gotta use a cable that don't have many cable inside for one conductor. It has only one conductor. Those are a best one, like we use in home renovation inside the wall. Those big, that
Silver.
not silver, the white one. You know the inside when you have your positive and
yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
Not the one you use not the one you use as an extension cord. You need a plain cable.
So I could just like hook it up to my electricity system in my wall.
Ew.
Although they do sell TV antennas that basically connect to the ground, and they pick up the channels. They probably will pick up a few channels, but it's probably not a good idea to hook your antenna up to the ground in your wall outlet.
Yeah.
No,
Especially how bad my electric system is.
yeah, because actually you gotta think about something here. If especially if your electrical system is bad, it's that the negative in AC is actually the ground.
If you plug in
Somehow.
if you use the microwave, everything shut down pretty much.
Yeah. Well, someone asked a good question here, Robbie. What are you going to do if North Korea hits us with an EMP? I guess not use any electronics.
Yeah, right. Do you have some books?
Yeah, I guess I'll read a book. I guess I don't know. Won't be doing a YouTube video or live stream. I guess I'll be.
I'll be going outside in the woods,
trying to take care of my kids. I guess. So yeah, I don't know. We never even see that actually happen in EMP. So who knows if it would be as devastating as they say. There's still we haven't seen that actually happen. But I don't know. That's not. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, there's a possibility of other things happening. I think more of like we could have like a grid go down just due to neglect or an oversight in something, and it just causes our whole grid to go down for a while, like a day or two, right? We could have we've had that before. Coronal mass ejections from the sun can knock power grids out.
Yeah, that happened.
And it did happen. It did happen, yes. And
it happened to Shadirek. They won't recognize that fact, but some years ago we lost the sat up there, and they told us some bullshit story, but the fact is it was the sun, from what I get.
Yeah, I remember that story. My uncle actually told me that. Yeah, I remember that story.
Oh, it made news. It certainly made news.
Is it when they were known as Star Choice?
Yeah, they were known as Star Choice, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember my uncle said like they lost the satellite.
You don't remember this, Robbie? We lost. All Canada lost Anik something.
Yes,
and
that was in. Oh
the
gosh,
not the
I
not
was
lose their
volunteering.
internet also, and
Yeah.
we
I
lost
remember the
shot
day
direct.
that happened. Do remember the day that happened because I had cable. That was in the 90s, eh? That was like
No, it was in 2010 and up.
Yeah, yeah, that was
oh,
in like the
I
2010s or
remember a
something.
satellite outage that happened in the 90s.
90s, is that so?
Was
Oh,
it the
those
Mm.
time
2000s?
when you see no signal in
Yeah,
white on a black background
not even
in
that, just a snowy picture. This was like the
oh,
Rogers cable. I think it might have been even like 2000, or it might have been around late 90s, early 2000s. I can't
okay,
remember the exact year,
So that's
but
probably like analog. Don't
it
quote
was
me
yeah,
on that.
analog. And at the
Yeah.
time, cable back in the early, even in the early 2000s, was microwaved over to Carlton Place from Ottawa. So the not satellite, the cable signal, we used to get a lot of channels that would drop out during like heavy weather because it was all microwave relayed. So we used to have channels like,
oh,
not all the channels, but certain channels would drop out on us because like basically the microwave relay was on the Carlton Place water tower, where like a lot of them are. And so if there was any weather between that and Ottawa, that we would lose some cable channels. And then so at first I thought it was that, but then it was like there was only we're still getting local channels, but we're getting some of the networks, and it was because of satellite. And this is one of the satellites in the early 2000s, late 90s when that went down, and so it disrupted service in Canada. Now there might have been another one you're talking about, which was a more recent one, probably before I got into the satellite hobby, because like I
I
was
don't think so.
always
It's fairly recent. I
oh
will
fairly
Yeah, I
I will
remember.
say it's not much older than 5 years,
oh
probably.
really
Yeah,
I
it's
remembered when that happened. I would say around 2008, 2009, 2010.
no.
Because I remember they were still known as Star Choice. I remember that.
Yeah.
I'd like to address what Kenny is saying here. A lot of transmission backhauls and feeds are gone fiber now because fiber bandwidth is cheap and plentiful. And being
Yeah.
a wrestling fan, like to watch AEW, a lot of that
Oh
stuff
yeah.
is not on. I haven't found it on satellite, and I'd probably be one of the first to know if it was on satellite. But I haven't seen AEW. I've seen WWE and Ring of Honor, but
I
not
have seen
AEW.
AEW, but
On
my friend is
on
streaming it on Discord through like his server.
okay,
He's from the US.
it's on YouTube. I mean, a lot of Monday Night Raw. You can find the highlights on YouTube. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
it's
more of an AEW fanboy now.
oh yeah, AEW I find is a lot better.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it a lot more, and I still watch
CM Punk
WWE.
also is on AEW.
Yeah, yeah. So I like the what. See, I find it's the spirit of WCW a little bit, but it's what WCW could have been, and then
Yeah,
unfortunately they weren't. They had a lot of good talent at times, and like a lot of their talent went to WWF at the time to become like Mick Foley, uh,
yeah,
Steve Austin. Like I used to watch WCW when there was those guys, and I loved it in the early '90s, and I actually liked WCW better than WWF. And then it. And then when
then
it became the NWO, and like you had all these charismatic guys, all wear black T-shirts. Like they took away all their charisma, put them all like a big group
yeah,
of people in black T-shirts all the time. Took all their charisma around, but people like that. I found the NWO thing was so boring, and I started watching WWE. I didn't care for it. You know, I just didn't. Wasn't into it. Some
yeah,
people are really into that. Me, I was like, okay, it's like I thought it was cool when Hogan went heel because that was a cool thing that you never saw that. But after that, it kind of they played it up so much. They catered to Hogan so much. It made me hate Hogan because like it was just the
yeah,
jamming Hogan down our throats, right? And I was like, okay, I'm tired of Hulk Hogan being jammed down my throat. And they stopped even talking about other wrestlers that were on WCW. It stopped being Vader said it best in an interview I heard with Vader. WCW stopped being WCW and became the Hogan Show.
mm, yeah. But yeah. Hulk Hogan is it when he bathed his beard black and
Oh yeah.
uh
That was around then. That was like 1996.
yeah
How old I am and how
I
long I've been
wasn't
watching
around
wrestling.
back then, but I have seen like some old wrestling shows, and I was like, I thought I wasn't Hulk Hogan was like had a blonde beard.
Mustache, yeah, and then he put
Yeah.
it wasn't even a beard. He put like face polish or shoe polish on his face to make him look like he had a beard.
Kenny Murray has a good point
I'm
here.
gonna show you a picture of it. It's too funny.
But hey, guys, back to Sat. Kenny Murray's has a good point here. I like his comment. You gotta. He says that the best thing the best thing for television with satellite is it's that it offers unlimited viewer at with bandwidth limitation. He meant to say that when we broadcast, it's more about television, and when you use all those stream thing for television, it's wasting bandwidth. In fact, because you sending something air for someone, something air from someone else, the same thing for another person. So you're sending a lot of stream for many people, and with SAT, we send one stream for many people. That's moral logic.
Yeah.
So here's
So-
sorry, back on Hogan. I just he has a black shoe polish or something on, and then
Is it really him?
I was so accustomed to this. One day I'm watching it, and my wife's like, "Why does that guy have black stuff all over his face?" He doesn't watch wrestling at all. Hates wrestling, and I thought that was so funny. It's like I never even thought of that. I was so accustomed to like, this was Hulk Hogan, and he just happened.
Is it him or not?
That's him.
It's him. Okay.
Yeah, and then he would do interviews, and he would have the black stuff on his face.
I love how he just smiles.
There he is. There, he's grooving with the black stuff on his face, and the shoe polish or something, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. I don't mind. I don't know. I just liked Hogan when I was a teenager. I get over it now. It's like whatever.
He's been into a controversy like a few years ago.
Oh yeah, he's been in controversies and stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's I don't know. I just found he held other people down because it was the Hogan show anyway, and so it made WCW boring for me back in those days. I think that's what someone says he looked like Superstar Graham. Sorry, we're talking about wrestling, and I wasn't meaning to do a wrestling show.
You lost me, huh? By the way. You lost me on wrestling.
Yeah, you ever watched it in Quebec?
Huh? Oh, not at all.
No.
I have watched. I'm in Quebec, but most of the stuff we watch on TV is in English. We are more like English in my.
See, I've been always surprised that there wasn't a big league that was more French-based wrestling out of Quebec because it's wrestling's so popular in Quebec. It used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be two of them. There was like Grand Prix Wrestling, and there was whatever the other one was that were like on TV and in Quebec, and it just isn't as big. But I mean, there used to be territory days where there was like Quebec was like Andre the Giant. First came to North America in Quebec, and then would travel all around North America. And West, they had the Stampede Wrestling. Like wrestling used to be territories, and Canada had its territories. And then WWF kind of became the big global thing. That when you think wrestling, you're thinking WWF.
There is like a wrestling show. This is more like a regional, local wrestling show. It's not like a big show or anything like that.
I like that. But the YouTube channel, not YouTube, but the YouTube channel. It shows a lot of wrestling, so I was excited to see that. The only thing is, I noticed that the signal breaks up a lot when the sun's up. So I'm gotta work that out on that satellite because was working fine the other day after the windstorm. It was working really well.
Yeah, I have to be like I have to figure. That's what scares me a little bit about satellite is because where I want to put my satellite, there's like tons of wind that goes there. But like I'm kind of new to that, so.
And I'm right I'm right under the utility cable, so. So if one cable goes down over my dish, I think I'm better off not touching anything.
Yeah, broadcasters are. I don't know, the broadcasting model, in my opinion, in Canada and in the U.S. is really broken and it's outdated, and I think eventually it's going to just, I don't know, fall. I don't think it's going to be around forever.
But
I agree.
That's their own fault.
And it's
That's
their own
not.
fault,
That's not a matter of technical stuff or anything or money.
Yeah.
That's their own fault, their own propaganda. When you start to do stuff for people that don't pay you, when you're paid by the government. People don't watch you anymore, and they go the way they wish. So,
I mean, I've heard of podcasters and YouTube channels that are getting more views than what cable is getting now, and it's just getting to the it's well, CNN with their ratings right now. I mean, it's
a fucking joke.
And the CBC. I mean, we pay for. We pay for the CBC. Where all of us are paying for a CBC through our
CBC accurate news.
Yeah, and then all the media is getting handouts from the government, and they shouldn't be getting money from the government. Like, they should be paying their fair share in taxes.
I was gonna say something, but I don't want you to get like censored on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean it's just the whole model of it, and as I say, there's tons of content on YouTube. It doesn't even have to be this channel. There's a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch, and like when people are like, still, I have to pay this amount a month, and like just cut cable. It's I've done it for years, and it's not hurting.
Yeah, I stopped watching my cable box just because there was nothing good on TV.
When
I want to have satellite because I want to watch channels. I want to see something new.
You pay $100 a month for ads.
Yeah.
I mean, so why pay? It's and then they want to sell you a DVR and all this kind of
DVR
stuff for an extra.
The DVR doesn't work for crap.
And when I canceled back many years ago, when I canceled my Shaw Direct subscription, the guy told me, "Okay, we're gonna keep your information when you're gonna come back." Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's the best one.
And I was not. I didn't have to argue with him, but in my head, I was. That was simple.
Type in my name and
bye.
Here.
What do you say?
I'm just trying to find like the video where I talk about so if you go to my YouTube channel, Mr. Ronster TV, you can find a video. I've gone through a whole setup process of what you would want to, like what you can get here on my YouTube channel. So if you this video here, free starter, it's a good guide to show you. There's some links in the description. There's links in the description of this video as well. And that will kind of give you an idea if you want to get a KU band system, but make sure you do a little research. Got a few videos on that too, where you can find what channels are available before you go out and buy one. It's a good backup to have. It's not going to give you a ton of channels. That's the one thing is like a lot of people have the misconception with is you're not going to get all like cable. You're not going to get like 100 channels with cable. you're probably going to get like a bunch of niche programming, but a lot of it's fun to get. If you get like, it's basically an extension of you watch TV with an antenna. You can kind of get some channels that you might not be able to get on an antenna. The only problem is some of the channels, a lot of the channels are on C-band. You'll need a large dish to get like a lot of the network programs. So if you want NBC and Fox and things like that, This TV and Me TV, they're all on C-band. You're going to have to find a big C-band dish to pick up all those channels. They're not on KU-band at this time. Unfortunately, I maybe at some point they will put them up on KU-band. It would be great if they're on KU-band. Although there is Cozy TV and NBC on KU-band. And a handful of others. There's PBS on KU-band. But KU-band, it's a little bit more slimmer to what you do get on C-band. So
it's kind of harder to get also somehow. They're spread out. I think they're more spread out.
With KU-band, you typically would want a motor or multiple dishes.
Yeah.
Now, if you live in Canada, you can find those old Shaw Direct dishes, or if you're in the United States, you can get one of those secondhand Orbee TV dishes and repurpose it for free there and pick up a few channels with that. The receivers are not that. I wouldn't say they're very expensive now either. You can buy the Amiko Mini for like $88 American.
I think there's someone who wants to make fun of you in the chat. Can I install a KU-band dish on my fence? Will the C-band changing satellite annoy my dogs? My dog?
Nope. Yeah, someone's just asking silly questions. That's fine, whatever. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up. You guys want to chat on Discord for a little bit before we
yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we're gonna cool down a bit.
Yeah, we'll cool down.
Yeah.
I'll end the stream here, and you can help me fix my computer, or we can do whatever. Some people will join in from the stream and over on Discord. If you go to my link tree, you can find the Discord link. I don't know how to make Discord public. Like, I don't know how to make my server public.
I believe I know how to do that.
The thing is, Discord has like 1 million settings. When you go in the settings,
Yeah.
you get overwhelmed. Like, how do you do anything in Discord? Like a lot of programs, right?
Yeah, but the more setting, the better.
yeah. So I'm gonna close this up. I think we have a video here, the closing video of, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good one. I got the killer balloon.
I'll shoot it.
I got the killer balloon. Ah! 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 Oh! Oh! Oh!
Ha 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 ha!